And welcome along to Extremely Casual Gamers. It's a gaming podcast for the everyday gamer with myself, Guy, and Chris.
Hi, how are you?
And no Ellie.
No, she's on the second week of being away in the United States of America, getting to know our USA fan base, which is vast.
Very vast.
I reckon there's like 17 people.
Maybe 18.
18,
Let's
really?
round it to 20.
Let's do it. 20, so she's over there. She will be back next week, though. In the meantime, we are holding down the fort very well, might I say so myself.
I think she said that she was hopping on a transit to San Francisco.
Right, today.
Yeah,
she's been in LA, Ellie, and she's been with some mates, heading over to San Fran. She's not sending an audio message today because she forgot, and then I didn't ask her in time, and now she's transiting, so it's just a bit awkward.
Also, she's on holiday. We can't really get her to do too much work.
Nah, I mean, yeah.
Or any, really.
Well, I mean, she did edit last week's episode the video and upload it for us while on holiday. That's set a dangerous new precedent that I'm not very happy about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm never going to go on holiday now.
Yeah, well, that fits what I was planning to do anyway.
Yeah, fair. Hey, but on the podcast today, I want to talk about, I always think it's very toxic, the way that people say it, dead games. Is that actually a thing? Is there such thing as a dead game?
See, when you sent this through today, I was like, well, yeah, games you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
That's a dead game in my mind. I didn't realize people were out there online calling games dead.
But that's the definition. But people are sort of playing fast and loose with the definition of a dead game. So I want to get into that. But also, you've made an observation about RPG and how we're all basically living.
Well, you know, RPGs boil down to 4 main quest types, and I also realized that life boils down to these same 4 quest types. So I love The Witcher 3, but I am doing an RPG every single day of my life.
Yeah.
So I should do that more and not play The Witcher 3.
I mean, it lives up to the title of role playing, role playing.
Exactly,
playing the role of us.
Exactly, and if you add in like playing simulator games like Farm Simulator and stuff, you're really just living in a video game. Everyone's an NPC. There's nothing is real. Nothing exists.
We're all in the Matrix.
We certainly are. Just
time to take the pills.
Question about your subject.
Yes.
Are people calling Helldivers dead?
Yes.
I knew it. As soon as you said that, I was like,
I am irked.
Yeah, one of Guy's and mine at the moment, Helldivers 2. We're still jamming it. It's still great.
Yeah.
And people must be saying that it's dying.
Yeah, and that is the sort of the main. It's the catalyst. It's the main catalyst as to why I'm bringing this up. I don't know why I'm getting so wound up, but I am.
What? You getting wound up about something like this? What are you talking about?
Anyway, let's do some listener feedback.
Okay.
Listener feedback, you can get involved by hitting us up on Instagram, Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast, and as a DM, leave us a comment. Or you can jump onto our Facebook group, Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers, which is where Manuel has joined in. He joined this week. So shout out to Manuel. He says, my son is officially at college, and the topic is it's a gaming school. He's gone into esports. I'm so proud of him, but at the same time, I'm low-key jealous he gets to go to school and play video games.
Well, this happens all the time as well. Like my parents go, oh man, I would have killed to do that when I was your age.
Totally.
And this is the one for us is now that our kids can go to college. So that from the States, maybe?
Yeah, States.
So that's like university.
Maybe Canada, actually. I mean, what's the subject that you did at high school that your parents would have gone, that's not a subject. I'd have killed to have that.
Well, they wouldn't have killed for it. It was called travel and tourism.
That was a class?
There was a class, and I'm not going to lie, it's where the cabbages were. So I was there, and in New Zealand, a cabbage is just a term for someone who's not that bright.
Yeah.
And I was in there because I was lazy and talked too much.
I was in cabbage math.
Yeah.
Yeah, cabbage math.
But that checks out, though.
Oh, massively. And cabbage science.
What's 4 times 8?
So Manuel was saying that it's a focus on online connections and how to stream and present yourself properly online. And he also sent through a screenshot because myself and Ellie replied, like, I'd love to know more. Like, what is in a video games class? So he sent through a screenshot of what happens in a semester. So these are all things that he's going to be studying, like accounting concepts, introduction to Canadian business, introduction to esports media production, introduction to sport marketing, introduction to sport management.
Wow.
So it's not just playing video games, it's like how to set yourself up to make video games a career.
That's good, because my initial thought was, oh, what's he going to do with that afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, is there much opportunity? But all those things, it's about how to slot into society with video games and make a business out of it.
Because there's basically, yes, you can make a career out of video games and become a streamer because anyone and everyone can do it. These classes it's like cutting through.
To rise above.
How is it? Yeah, exactly. So that's bloody fantastic. So shout out to Manuel and good luck to your son in college.
Wouldn't it be like we're here trying to do a gaming podcast and trying to get some income from it?
Totally.
It's going really well, by the way, everyone. I would have killed for like, a year semester of courses on how to do the best, go the best way about it.
Thing is, you and I did study broadcasting, a broadcasting school here in New Zealand.
I forgot about that.
Like, we have bachelors of communications, whatever the hell that means. But I'm pretty sure, because there's all these different aspects of the degree that we did, but I think now they've recently added like podcasting as part of that.
Yeah, well,
I'm so annoyed that wasn't there when we were a thing. But if it was there when we were a thing, we'd have gone, what's a podcast? Sounds dumb. Not doing it.
Sounds like work.
Sounds lame.
I'm going to go hang out with the other cabbages.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is, there's a weird thing that happened with you and I where we're at the exact age where media shifted just as we came out qualified.
Yeah.
So we like studied all this stuff about television and radio and then came out qualified just as you start to make your way into the industry. It all shifts towards social media, podcasting, and all these things where now you can actually just make your own.
Yep.
If you want to become, someone who works in media, your best bet is actually just to get on TikTok, make funny videos, make your own podcast, and get stuck in yourself. So It's quite interesting.
Yeah. It's like, going to culinary school, learning how to make the perfect omelet, and then getting into a chef, like getting a job at a kitchen. Like, oh no, we don't make omelets with eggs. Like, what?
What do we make them with?
Jelly. Just jelly with some ham.
Yeah, that sounds really
some
yum.
Spring onions.
That sounds
some
disgusting,
cheese.
guy.
Yeah, sounds horrible.
Isn't jelly just gelatin?
Yeah.
Like hooves?
It's pig's feet.
Yum.
Yummy.
Trotters.
More. This one's coming in from Katarina Smith. She posted a question, and it's all about how video games are bought. So she asked the question, how did you collect video games as a kid? How do you collect them now? And how do you think the future is going to be shaped? And how do you think like our grandkids will be collecting video games?
Very interesting.
I like this question.
I think I collect. The only difference between me now and back when I was a child is I had to ask my parents for permission.
Totally.
Now I have to ask my wife for permission.
Yeah.
No, that's actually not true. I've got a sneaky account which is for all my naughty purchases.
Nice.
It's a good way to keep
those OnlyFans subscriptions and stuff that
you
want to see pop up on.
Yeah, there's
the
that.
bank statements.
There's obviously that. There's like if I go to the pub.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be like, oh, you had a quiet one last night, only a couple of beers. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you buy 2 beers on the main account.
That's right.
And then you buy like 7 or 8 on yours.
That's
like,
right.
That's right. I held it all together.
Yeah. And this is like, man, you got drunk off 2 beers. Like, I know. Someone must have spiked my drink. But I buy lots of video games and silly stuff for my own personal entertainment from that account.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned last week, I like to have the physical copy of it just so you've got it, because so many video game publishers are just getting rid of games from the digital store, and you can no longer play them.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing as well. Like I've always been pro digital, but there are some games that I don't own an old PlayStation, but if I did, if I got one on a garage sale and stuff, and then I wanted to buy and play video games that I love from my youth, chances are I'm not going to be able to.
No,
there's those physical copies are either being collected and held by people who understand the value of them. Or they've just been thrown away. Or,
as we realize, I've got a cupboard full of video games that aren't worth anything.
Yes.
Like the PlayStation 3 games aren't worth anything, and I've got a shitload of them, and 4.
If you have a PlayStation 1 game that's still in its plastic wrap,
which is stupid.
Let's say Driver, right? Driver was such a very popular game growing up. You've got that plastic wrap, 1998, 97 it came out, and you wanted to sell that now, you'd probably get $100.
I feel like you get more than that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because PlayStation 1 was the very first PlayStation, and those games are right in the sweet spot of people who have money now.
Yeah, true.
So sort of like the Game Boy games and stuff, I can see them. Like if you had Tomb Raider or one of those classics, I reckon they'd be worth maybe 120.
But you've had to have held it in mint condition for like 30 years.
Which is stupid. Play the damn thing.
Yeah, just play the games. But that is it for listener feedback this week. If you want to get involved, like I said, Extremely Casual Gamers podcast on Instagram, or ECG for ECG on Facebook.
That's right. Get involved with the podcast. Right now it's time for Gaming News. Gaming News. First piece of news, guy. Now, we don't usually like to discuss leaks.
No.
Right? So if someone, like if a game developer gets hacked, someone goes in there, maliciously takes everything, holds them to ransom, says, pay, otherwise we're going to leak it all, and then drops a whole lot of stuff they've been working on, that sucks.
Yeah.
This one, though, I'm willing to give a pass to just because someone has leaked the PS5 Pro.
Oh, yes, I saw this.
Potential release date. And a PS5 Pro is something I want. I have a current deal with my brother. I said, Yeah, because he's a mechanic. He's just he's just finished his apprenticeship.
Yeah.
So he needs cash. He can't afford to have a PlayStation 5. And I was like, I'll give you mine when the PlayStation Pro comes out. In the meantime, do some like mechanical jobs for me.
Nice.
And so he's like done a few things on cars and stuff of mine. And
So
blah.
you get to fix your car for free.
That's right.
And then he gets
my PlayStation 5.
He gets like a 5 to 6 year old PlayStation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. He's probably done about if I sold it, it'd be $500.
So I'm guessing negotiating a fee, it wasn't part of his course.
Guy. It's a nice wholesome agreement I've got between myself and my brother.
Let me just remind everyone that if you might have to listen back a few episodes ago, where last time you and your brother had a deal when it came
This
to
was
a
2 months
PlayStation,
ago, Guy. Yes.
a PlayStation, you went back on it.
Yeah, I was 8.
Yeah.
And I got Pokemon cards instead.
Instead, because you and your brother were going to go halves on a PlayStation 2, you were supposed to save your money. No, your brother saved his birthday money
from his birthday on January 2nd. It got to August 19th, my birthday. And I said, actually, no, let's not put our money together. I want Pokemon cards. Once again, I was 8.
Yeah.
And
Leopard never changes its spots, Chris.
It's
just
genuinely,
saying, James, just start saving.
It's genuinely probably the biggest regret of my life.
Yeah.
Which is nice because
the trust was broken.
It was.
Yeah.
But my brother and I had the same deal. I gave him my PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
When I got the PlayStation 5, and he did a bit of work on my truck that I've got, and then he didn't have to buy a PlayStation because they are, 4, 5, 6. To buy a new one's like $700 or $800 here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So they're pretty pricey. But the PS5 Pro has been leaked. The price, it looks to be, so in America, the price of a PlayStation 5 with a disc, I believe, is $599 US.
Okay.
The PS5 Pro with a disc is now going to be $699 US. So just $100 more. Whereas you can get the digital edition for $599.
PS5 Pro.
That's right. The
PS5 Pro is the same as a PlayStation 5.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they've just added $100 onto both the digital version and the disc version, according to this leak. It is going to be announced on September 9th, apparently.
That's not far away.
No, it's not far away. However, the console doesn't actually land and start shipping until December the 6th. End of this year.
December 6th, that's a late turnaround. Normally you just sort of sit at late October, November so that everyone gets them ready for Christmas, but I guess December 6th isn't too far off.
Well, they've had, it's been such a weird console generation because they've struggled to pump out enough consoles for people's demand. Early days, no one could even get a PlayStation.
Yeah, 2020 is when they dropped.
That's right.
And
it was a shambles.
Absolute shambles.
And I had to join a Facebook group, and then I got a notification, drove to the store that they had 30 in stock and wrote my name down.
Mine was delivered to me by hand.
For free?
For free. So there's two different ends to the spectrum there.
I love you just get all your PlayStation shit for free.
Shout out PlayStation NZ, love you very much.
Yeah. Well, what was that stuff you're saying about them off air though? Because you were really laying into them.
Oh yeah, they're just too nice to me. And
they're too high quality.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what to do with all the cardboard boxes of the free shit. You know?
Oh god,
I'm not coming across as very relatable right now.
It's good though.
Everyone's like, I'm glad your podcast isn't making any money.
Well, I still have to pay most of my stuff. I've started getting free games and stuff from PlayStation, which is very nice. But I will be buying a PlayStation 5 Pro the day it comes out. I'll be pre-ordering it. And then giving my PlayStation 5 to my brother. So if you've just joined, PlayStation 5 Pro has been leaked. They'll be announcing it early September, and it will be coming out to stores December 6th, just in time for Christmas.
Very good.
Second piece of news, Concorde crashes and burns like an actual Concorde.
Nice.
Did you see this game and the news around this?
I did see this game, and I did see the original crashing.
So well, that's what ended one of the. Interestingly, guys,
I would love to have got on the Concorde.
100%, very expensive.
Yeah.
So like a first class ticket for me to fly to London would cost a shitload. It was even more to go on a Concorde.
Yeah.
So very pricey. But it's one of the first times in history where we've made advancements in technology and then actually gone, no, it's too far. We're stepping back.
Well, it did crash.
Yeah, but heaps of planes crash all the time.
Not really.
The plane crashed in Wellington last night. It was on the news.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Well, it didn't crash.
The engine set on fire.
Yeah.
Semantics.
Yeah, but still. So interesting. Anyway, so a company named, what was it called? They're called Firewalk Studios.
Mm-hmm.
They were made up of a lot of big names from some really successful multiplayer studios. So, for example, former Bungie CEO. They created Halo, and essentially
that was the big thing about Concorde. Yeah,
that's right. And they created Halo, which essentially pioneered online multiplayer shoot 'em ups. The former Bungie creative director and a former Activision general manager. the experience between these three alone, they produced Call of Duty games,
Yeah.
Destiny, Apex Legends, Mass Effect, and of course, Halo. They broke off on their own. They were purchased by PlayStation Studios. They were named Firewalk. And in 2018, when they started, they set out to make the next big online multiplayer shooter.
So that's a pretty butty combined LinkedIn profile.
Huge resume.
Yeah.
Huge. And obviously people are excited. It's like, well, these guys who created Halo and pioneered this genre, they've got together to create this game, Concord. Now, it's a hero shooter, so it's very similar to Apex Legends and also Overwatch. So, but what's the thing that those two games, how long ago did they come out?
Overwatch came out in like 2016.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And so they saw that, reacted to it, have been developing this game, and it's come out now that the market is completely saturated with games. It has sold 25,000 copies.
That's not a lot.
10,000 on Steam, 15,000 approximately on PlayStation. That's the two platforms, 25,000. Its highest concurrent player count was on launch day, 697 people.
Ooh, that's rough.
Concurrent is on at one time.
Yeah.
So some other flops, and I saw this on a great YouTube channel, Skill Up, Aussie fella who reviews games. He compared it to some other flops. Do you remember The Day Before?
Yes, the one that was out for like 3 days or something stupid.
It was a zombie, and it was a zombie survival game. It was essentially a scam.
Yeah,
made by the I think they were Russian guys.
Russians, yeah.
It was a huge scam. It flopped after 3 days. It was pulled. Concurrent player count 38,104.
Oh my god! So even a scam Russian bot game had
697 compared to 38,000 people.
Wow.
Suicide Squad, huge flop.
Yeah.
Rocksteady Games, they made the Batman Arkham Asylum games. Great publisher. It came out, massive flop, lost millions of dollars. 13,459 concurrent players, highest, compared to 697.
Yeah.
Redfall, which was the biggest flop of last year, it was, I believe, Obsidian Studio. It was Xbox's big thing they were investing in to draw people across, like big online multiplayer game. 1,560. That was the biggest flop of last year.
Yeah, that's huge.
So this Concord game has flopped. 697 is its peak. It's the highest it's ever going to get. It is a shambles.
Man, I really do feel for the developers of the game, the people that have spent hours pouring it into this game, and the higher ups feeding them all this lies, and the marketing that's got into it, and all that stuff. For it to just hit that is,
yeah, it does suck.
That's a gut punch.
Because it's talented people working and putting a lot of passion and creativity into something, and it just so happens that the direction is poor. It's by the time they aimed for that market and tried to do it and set everything up and released it, it was way too late.
Yeah.
Apparently they didn't spend enough on marketing. It hasn't really been advertised anywhere.
I remember seeing it at the PlayStation Showcase earlier on this year, and at the time thinking, cool, just another online shooter. But then I haven't heard anything since until now.
That's
I'm
right.
like, oh, that game's out?
And I know you can't compare it, but like when Spider-Man 2 came out, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like billboards, yeah, so their marketing was crazy. The other issue it has is you have to pay to play it. You have to buy $40 US or 70 New Zealand dollars to buy the game just to play the online multiplayer. And obviously it doesn't stand out in a massively oversaturated market. So the only way forward is probably chuck it in with PlayStation Plus subscription, yeah, and then just let it be free for everyone to play, and then hopefully claw your way back after that.
Yeah, throw a few patches in there, and
yeah,
then, because there are games out there that have been brought back from the dead after having a pretty gnarly launch, like No Man's Sky.
Yes, which apparently is epic.
Like
now.
Huge expectations, massively low delivery. They took it away, they worked on it, and now it's starting to make its way back, just like Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's another one, yeah. But No Man's Sky, yeah, apparently that game is off the chain now. If anyone out there listening has actually downloaded and played Concord, first of all, I don't believe you, because apparently there's so few people playing, you can't actually get a lobby going.
Oh my God.
But if you have played it, please let us know what it's
Absolutely.
like. Because I've watched footage of it, and yes, it's just another hero shooter, but also it looks quite fun. Like, it looks really cool.
Absolutely. It doesn't look like a shit game. It shouldn't have flopped as badly as it did. So there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
There's when there's smoke, there's fire, though. But that will actually lean into what I want to talk about. But I've got actually a little quick gaming news. We talked about Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, the game that was announced last month.
That's right.
You can get it.
What?
On PlayStation Plus subscription.
It's out?
It got announced as one of the games for September.
Wait, so it's already out?
Yeah. That's the thing. So I've been on my phone. I'm going onto the PlayStation app. It's available from the 3rd of September, which, as you're listening now, will have already happened. But I think that's tomorrow for us, or the next day. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the game that was, the trailer came out and everybody was like, why can't this just be a DLC with Hogwarts Legacy? It does look fun. It looks a little bit mobile gamey, but it's still a fun game. And everybody was like, we know it's coming out in September. But you can just, if you've got a PlayStation Plus subscription, you could just get it.
Right now, it's available.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's wild.
Gaming news.
So you were talking just before about particular games that have flopped, such as like Redfall and stuff like that. And it actually does play into perfectly. It's what I want to talk about. Because as you may have seen, if you play any, I'm mostly talking about online video games here because it doesn't really apply to the offline, but we can talk about that if you want.
So multiplayer games, you mean?
Multiplayer games, right? The term dEaD game. Like every single time I see, because I follow a lot of these games on Instagram, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare and like Warzone and Fortnite and stuff like that. And Halo, they'll release a trailer for something that's coming out online. And there's always one person that comments saying dEaD game. This game is dead. No one plays it, right? The actual definition of a dead game is when it loses most of its players, loses its developer support, or loses its competitive scene. However, some say that it is only true dead when the last player logs off. Which to me isn't true. You can't just have like 2 or 3 people playing, and that to me, there's no heartbeat there. That in its term is a dead game. But a lot of people are saying that when a game launches, it's got X amount of players. And a few months down the line, it's got a massively small proportion of that on its concurrent player base. That now is the term for a dead game. So Helldivers 2, when it launched back in February, 400,000 concurrent players was the average for the first week. Now it's 25,000.
I just say for Helldivers,
yeah,
I bet right now is kind of what they were expecting.
Absolutely.
Their high watermark to be.
Yeah. And they were expecting to be around 25 and build up to 400,000. The reason that Helldivers has had such a cataclysmic fall is for multiple reasons. There's the Sony PSN login thing, which basically made it unavailable for millions of people. The developers saying we're going to do this, and they didn't deliver on it with the new patches. They also nerfed so many guns and so many weapons, which is so stupid for a PvE. But it's still, on average, like when I checked this morning, it was 25,000 people. That wasn't even on a weekend. So, there's still going to be, you're still sitting around the 40,000 people, 50,000 people. So that is not a dead game. Pal World is still the 3rd most concurrent players on stream when it launched, right? So it has the 3rd.
The Pokemon ripoff, basically.
The Pokemon ripoff. When it launched, 2.1 million people were playing it back in January this year. So still this year. Whereas now, it's got less than 20,000.
Yep.
2.1 million down to 20,000. And you mentioned it before, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I checked this morning, 104 players.
Crazy, eh? For a huge...
for a game that took a $200 million loss. You know the movie Suicide Squad that came out in 2016? That cost $175 million to make. And that went on to make like $800 million.
Right.
So it cost more than the movie.
Once again, though, it's because if they made a sick Suicide Squad game like the Arkham Asylum games...
that Rocksteady have been proven to be able to do.
That would have been insane. But no, they went after the PvE. Oh, no, what is it? I don't even know how to describe it. They went after the online... Pay to win, like
it's exclusively online. So there is like a storyline, but it's 100% online.
That's right. It's very repetitive and samey apparently.
Loot boxes and all that stuff. And it was such a fail, as we've seen, but Rocksteady and Warner Brothers have doubled down, and they're going to be focusing primarily on doing that. They're thinking about doing it with Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, right. I think without Hogwarts, I was watching something where they said without Hogwarts Legacy, they would have it would have been a massive, colossal fail all of last year.
Even more people from Discovery Warner would have lost their jobs.
That's right.
They've been firing people all over the world.
That's right.
So yeah, it's the term "dead game" to me seems to have taken a different sort of face to it. So I just want to clear the air.
You want to slap that face?
I want to slap that face and say, stop saying that just because a game launched with X amount doesn't mean that it's a dead game now.
Do you read comment sections?
Occasionally, but then I get wound up and then move on.
I've never seen anyone comment that this is a dead game, unless it's like for example, Guilty. When Fallout 76 first came out years ago and it was a massive failure and I was hugely let down by Bethesda and I was like, these guys are just cranking out garbage games now.
Yeah, totally.
And then Starfield came out and it was okay and they just kept doing things like that. I went to the comment section to see whether everyone was bagging it and they were.
Yeah.
And I loved that. People were saying dead game, which is correct. It sucked. It's since got better because they've stuck with it and fixed a whole lot of stuff, which is cool. But also, who gives a shit? I still want to go online and play Helldivers too, man. Who gives a shit?
That's the other thing as well. Like now these games have just got their core audience, which I feel like the developers are fine with, and they'll cater to them. But it's the loudest voices, it's the toxic people that say, "Dude, game," the developers side, but they'll still play it. But they're just whinge,
but also
and whinge.
Yeah, 100%. Whinges are out there, and like I think it's better when it's just the core audience playing a game.
Yeah, true.
Age of Empires 2 has stood the test of time for over 20 years, and it's just been core audience. Like, and they all just love it, and it's just like, a matter of fact, we love this game, keep improving it, and we're going to keep loving it. We'll feed back to you what we like. You guys listen to us.
Yeah.
And to be honest, with Helldivers too, like, as you said, they promised all this stuff. They couldn't keep up with demand. It was way bigger than they ever anticipated. They got caught. They're on the back foot. It scared a lot of people off. They've got negative press because of it. Now that they've got just a safe, solid, dedicated player base, they'll actually be able to meet expectations and actually improve it really nicely.
I agree and disagree a little bit with that, because I feel like we've been using the whole launch and the server space as a bit of a safety,
Scapegoat.
as a bit of a scapegoat. That is true. They launched and it was a lot bigger, and they tried to keep up with demand, but they caught up with demand pretty quickly after like 2 or 3 weeks. The servers were up and running, and now everything that's happened since has been on them.
Right.
The PSN thing was a Sony call. That wasn't a Helldivers Arrowhead Studios call. But everything that's been designed within the game, that's still their decisions. So I still feel like Helldivers, even if you still include the PSN thing and you still include the server spaces, those hiccups, I think you'd still be sitting around the 75, 100,000 concurrent players.
Yeah, right.
If they were making better decisions with their games.
So they shot themselves in the foot a
They
wee bit.
genuinely have shot themselves in the foot with a nerfed gun, because they were nerfing games into PvE. Like, it's PvE. You're not actually playing against other players.
So you don't need to nerf shit.
You don't need to nerf guns. It makes sense for Fortnite and Apex Legends and Call of Duty because it gives people a competitive edge. But your competitive edge is against bots. It's like, it's a team game. So they would release a really cool gun. People started using it as the meta, and then they just made it shit. So then nobody wants to use that gun anymore. Like the rail gun was amazing, and then now it's lame. And
Is it?
yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Exactly. So I think, yes, they had a hard start, but then everything that's happened since is on them. Like, there's got to be some responsibility taken, but it's still not a dead game. You were talking just before about, if there's a passionate audience,
called fan base,
and they're still playing. But what about, like, would you consider Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League a dead game?
I don't know. I don't care. That's my answer. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not going to play it because I love Rocksteady and I played a lot of their games, but I'm not going to play it. I don't care how many people are playing it. I don't care if there's 2 million people playing Power World. I still don't want to play it.
Yeah, that's true.
I just play games I want to play.
That's true. I mean, if I'm sitting there trying to force you to say that Kill the Justice League is a dead game, but then I'm also getting defensive about people saying that Helldivers is a dead game, then I've got a leg to stand on. So
who gives a shit? If you want to play it, go for it.
Stop saying shit's dead. Just say, I don't want to play it. Just be like, if you follow Arrowhead Studios or Helldivers or whatever game it be, and you don't think that it's a very popular game anymore, don't play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, if you like playing these games and people are saying they're dead games, just keep playing it.
That's fine.
Keep your head down.
Yeah.
Don't read comment sections. God.
Oh, God, no. What you should do is go onto whatever streaming platform you listen to this podcast and give it a 5-star rating.
And a comment. And I'll read that comment section.
Yeah.
I love that comment section.
Imagine if we just get an influx of 5 stars. It's a dead podcast.
This podcast is dead.
Dead podcast. If I see one single dead podcast, I'll be fine with it because I'm not going to read those comments. And I don't care.
Guy, I've discovered something while playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
Because I'm still trying to finish everything. I'm in cleanup mode. I've been in cleanup mode for 2 weeks. I'm not even enjoying it.
How far through?
There's one mission, people that have played it will know this. There's one mission that is at the very end of the main game where you go to it and it says, this is, make sure you've tied up all your loose ends because
it happens in a lot of games. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you get a little bit scared.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to go through.
So I'm there. And I've since gone across to the DLC and I'm doing all of that. And then once I've done that, I'm probably 3/4 of the way through, I will go back and finish that main story.
That's what I did with Ghost of Tsushima with Iki Island.
That's right.
Yeah.
Clean everything up and then do that final mission and drink it all in is what I'm keen to do. However, I've just realized everything I'm doing, and I even Googled it, and it is true, RPGs, while they are very immersive and there's storylines and characters and intrigue going on, you're essentially doing the same 4 things over and over again.
Okay. What are those 4 things?
Fetch quest. Everyone knows what a fetch quest is. Do you know what a fetch quest is?
Picking up groceries. Oh, it's just in the game.
In the game.
In game. Yeah.
That's right. So it's like, hey, and they'll dress it up. There'll be like a cool little storyline. A person be like, oh my God, my daughter's died. That's morbid. My cat is ill.
Hogwarts Legacy has so many of these fetch quests where
That's
you come
right.
up, you're like, I haven't seen my dad in 3 days. Last time I saw him, he was heading towards the Spider Canyon. I don't know where he is. And then you go and like, oh, he's dead. And you have to go back and then tell the person, yeah, he died.
Pass that on.
But, like the mission is to go and fetch him.
How did you go in the Spider Canyon, by the way?
I was a little apprehensive. If you didn't know, I'm terrified of spiders, but it was quite nice to kill as many as them as I could.
Good on you, mate. So it's a fetch quest. It's like, help, my cat's sick. I need 7 oranges.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And I'll make a potion.
That's right. These are also known as like forage quests or collect quests because you have to collect like a certain amount of feathers and then come back.
Or like your spaceship has crash landed and broken, and you need to go and get parts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Find 10 machine parts and come back. Another type of quest is a deliver quest. Same thing, except for instead of going somewhere and getting something and bringing it back, you're taking something somewhere.
Yep.
I did about 5 of these last night on Cyberpunk just because there's these cars around the map once you're doing the DLC where this guy who's a car dealer wants you to steal them.
Yep.
And then like you'll be walking along, then there's a car there, and then you hop on it, people chase you, and then you got to deliver it to his garage.
Oh, so many games have that exact mission.
Deliver
like
quest.
Yeah, steal cars.
Yeah. So that's fine. So he's got fetch quest, deliver quest. The next one is one that I don't really like, escort quest.
Oh, well, you got to sleep with an escort. Just, I know.
Yeah.
Got to pay woman for
Guy.
sex. Is that not what it is?
Males can be escorts as well. An escort quest is where you have to find a Ford Escort. No, it's not. An escort quest.
Mark 1 or Mark 2?
Yeah, dealer's choice. An escort quest is where you have to protect someone and take them somewhere.
I hate those missions.
They are genuinely the worst mission.
Because usually the person you're protecting is an idiot.
100%.
Yeah, and you'll be fighting 10 people, and then their health bar will be on your screen. And you'll look at it, it'll be rapidly dropping, and they'll be like hitting a wall while there's somebody else like stabbing them in the back. You're like, oh my God.
That's right. The Last of Us is really funny because you'll be like playing as Joel, and then it's like, help, Ellie's in trouble. You look over, and she's just getting like a clicker is like holding her and trying to bite her face off. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, the escort quest, and the final type is a kill quest.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, take this person out. This thing, this animal, whatever it might be. There's a werewolf killing all the sheep. Go and get rid of them.
Go and help the wolf.
So what I've realized is that life is basically boiled down into these 4 quest types.
Okay.
So we're living in RPGs, right?
So what are we doing right now? We're doing a podcast.
So you drove here to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And then drove home. Well, this is obviously a kill quest because we're killing it right now.
Here we are.
Yeah,
Here
nice.
we are.
Yeah. It's also a deliver quest. I don't know. What is this? Don't tell me this question you've just asked me has blown over my entire theory about this. What is it?
This is a deliver quest.
Because we come here, we deliver content.
Yeah. We're delivering entertainment.
That's right. And then we go home.
Okay.
So
I'll edit out that.
leave it in.
Yeah.
You leave it in. I want people to know that I failed massively. Okay. So here are a few things. I've got you to come up with a few things, and Ali sent through a few as well.
Very good.
So starting with yesterday, is which quest is this? I went to a local hardware store, bought some timber and a few things of bark for our garden. What do you think that is?
That's
probably a fetch quest.
That's a fetch quest, right?
It was also an escort quest.
Yeah, so there's fetch, escort, kill, and
Deliver. That's right.
So it's fetch and deliver, right?
It's fetch. Yes, I went and fetched it and then came back. So it's just fetch.
Yeah, it's fetch.
And it was an escort quest because my wife came with me.
Yeah.
And I was very conscious of her health bar the whole time.
Maybe she was doing an escort quest.
Actually,
escorting you from spending too much money.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I did want to get 6 bags of bark, and we ended up getting 4. So I'll have to go back next weekend to get more.
I was about to say, usually when it comes to like outdoor stuff, if you get like bags of bark or stones or something like that, just buy more.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you will always come home and be like, damn it, that's an annoying small patch.
Guy, this is the 3rd time we've gone to get bark, and I'm going to have to go again soon.
Man, your life is a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster, mate. Next one. Last week I flew to Wellington for a beer festival.
Okay.
What kind of quest was that?
It's like it was a kill quest.
Was it?
He's killing your liver.
100%. I was killing my liver.
I mean, that's a fetch. You were there for work, right? Fetch, deliver.
Yeah.
Escort.
I was escorting my co-hosts who are idiots. So I was making sure they got there safely and home.
I mean, you could count as a fetch quest because it's like you're doing a job, you're fetching that money.
Do you know what I've realized? I
feel like we need to add a fifth.
This exercise has massively showed that our jobs are not real jobs. We're not even like, we can't even sum up. We're not getting something. We're not delivering something. We're just talking.
I feel like the closest is deliver.
It's probably deliver.
Yeah, we're delivering a product.
That's right.
The product is the ECG podcast,
That's
and we're
right.
delivering it.
That's right.
Poorly.
This weekend, I am going to Tauranga, my hometown.
Yes.
Where I'll be dropping my truck off to get some work done on it.
It's a deliver quest.
It's a deliver quest.
Very easy. It's the easiest one so far.
Yeah, that's right. It just fits nicely into there. Last weekend on Sunday, we went for a walk around the neighborhood and popped into an open home.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't looking to buy it.
You just wanted to have a little look around someone's house?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
It was quite a cool house.
That is a fetch quest.
Is it?
Yeah, you're fetching information.
Yes.
You're fetching information about the houses around your neighborhood.
That's right.
And you said that you stole a few items from the person's house.
That's right.
Took home with you because now you and your wife are in that sort of stage where you shoplift.
Well, we just need to get our kicks. That's right.
Yeah.
So we took some nice family heirlooms and stuff. And to be honest, the old lady had a lot of jewelry. She didn't need all of it.
Not after her husband died.
No, that's right. So that was, and also an escort quest, I guess. I took Lucy there, my wife, and
paid to have sex.
Guy, drop
with the old lady.
Drop.
So I'm really stuck on that escort thing.
Yeah, no, I wonder why. Okay. So what have you done this week? Let's see if we can boil them down into
all right. These are just things I've done recently. So recently, not that long ago, flew down to see my family in Wanganui, and it was my nephew's first birthday party.
You were delivering birthday cheer and love.
And gifts.
You obviously had a gift as well.
Yeah.
So that was a deliver quest.
All right, I went to Crystal Mountain.
Which is a terrible theme park in West Auckland.
Oh, to call it a theme park is giving it way too much credit. Crystal Mountain gets its name because it's got it's like above natural crystals, and you can go down to an elevator and there's like an underground bit. But it's basically, it's for kids. It's like a animal park, and also it's got there was like a sale online of all these theme parks closing down with all these random like dinosaurs and animals that you can buy, and Crystal Mountain just bought them and put them in a field.
Like a carnival type
rides? There was a carnival, there was a circus, there was a carnival, there was another theme park all closing down, and Crystal Mountain bought all the stuff, put it in a field, and they charge people for it.
Nice.
And they put a playground in it. But my daughter loves it.
I think that's an escort quest.
That's an escort quest.
Anything with your daughter is an escort quest, I feel.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking your daughter to give to Meg, your wife.
Yeah, like if I'm taking my daughter to kindy, that's a deliver quest.
That's a deliver, / escort, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so this one's a little bit harder, and this one's an ongoing quest. Overcoming my crippling anxiety.
That's a...
Is it a fetch quest?
What are you fetching?
I don't know.
I think it is a fetch quest.
Yeah. I'm trying to fetch some perspective. I'm delivering medication to my system. I'm escorting...
I'm escorting negative thoughts into my own brain.
I'm trying to kill the negative thoughts. It's a kill mission. I'm trying to kill the negative thoughts in my brain.
I think it's I think it's an escort quest.
Yeah?
You're escorting yourself through and trying to keep yourself safe as you find your way through danger to the other side.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. And the last one, this one's very recent. It was this morning. Went to Father's Day breakfast at my daughter's kindy and ate lots of free food.
Okay, so obviously that's a deliver quest because you delivered your daughter to kindy.
Yeah.
It was also a fetch quest.
Yeah.
Because you fetched a whole lot of food and sustenance.
Oh, yeah, I did.
It was also a kill quest because you killed the buzz massively by eating all the kids' food and then leaving.
Well, it was for the dads. It was a Father's Day breakfast. I mean, to be fair, there were a lot of people giving me weird looks because I was scoffing. And then I took a bacon sandwich for the road. But no, that would have been a fetch quest.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that because the thing is, this is one of those things. This is called sticky content, right? In the industry, because it's content that people will listen to, and we will now be aware of it. It's going to stick in our minds that whenever we do stuff now, we're going to go, "What am I doing right now? What I'm playing an RPG. What kind of quest does this fall under?"
That's right. And to be honest, next week I've got another one, which is what are all the active quests you've got on right now?
Cool.
Because I've got so many active quests that have like unticked, so I'm not really following, but they're there.
So quick reminder for those people, it's a fetch quest, a deliver quest, an escort quest, and a kill quest.
That's right.
I like it.
Ellie sent through 3 things that she's been doing in the United States.
Cool.
The first one, the Beach Boys featuring John Stamos, in brackets, my first crush. Watched them at the Greek Theatre.
Why was John Stamos doing a show with the Beach Boys?
Who's John Stamos?
He's a good-looking man from, was it Full House?
John Stamos.
You'll know him when you look at him. He's one of those guys that's famous. He's good-looking, but he's old. But he's what is it? What else?
Full House.
Full House.
Yeah. What the hell is this,
Do you know-
Ellie? From My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah, he's very famous. But I, for the life of me, don't really know why other than Full House, and I never watched Full House.
He did a movie in 2008 called A Raisin in the Sun. It's about raisins. I've heard the name, don't know the bloke. So,
But that's nice that Ellie got to see her childhood crush.
by the way, her childhood crush 2 days ago was kicked out of Scientology, a church. So that's cool, Ellie.
Really? Scientology kicks people out? I
Yeah.
feel like they'd be taking anyone.
What did John Stamos do? So that they're going to the Beach Boys featuring John Stamos at the Greek Theatre.
That's a fetch?
Fetch quest.
It's a fetch quest.
Could be a kill quest because Ellie gets pretty obsessive about
does.
people. So if we don't hear from John Stamos or he gets kicked out of a Scientology,
Maybe that's why he was kicked out of Scientology.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was fetching yourself some weird.
It's fetching yourself an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She then visited the Getty Center.
The hell's the Getty? Is that Getty, like Getty Images?
Probably.
Is it Getty?
I love how people in America will be listening to this going, no, the Getty Center is this.
Yeah.
And we're just a couple of guys in New Zealand on the other
Isn't
side
there
of
a
the
famous
world.
person called someone Getty?
Well, Getty.
Spag?
John Getty.
Oh.
The Gettysburg. Battle of Gettysburg.
I'm thinking of Gettysburg. No, I'm thinking Getty Images, and it's just a museum full of pictures.
That's right. It's a dramatic building perched in the hills above West Los Angeles with galleries of masterpieces that might intimidate those not familiar with 17th century Baroque art.
Oh, well, that's fine because Ellie's real into her 17th century Baroque art, so she wouldn't have been intimidated.
No, she'd be all over that.
Yeah.
So it's obviously some sort of art gallery. Sorry if you're American and you're frustrated by us. We just don't know enough or care.
Yeah.
We went for a walk down the Hollywood Boulevard, which I've done before and is a bit of a shithole.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is a escort quest because her and her partner would have been escorting each other to make sure they weren't getting mugged.
That's right. Also, once again, a fetch quest. You're just fetching yourself some memories, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like there should be a fifth quest that's just called like do.
It's just fun.
It's a do quest. It's like a noun. Like it's just a noun.
To be fair, there's one of those is it radiant quests where they just are never ending and they're just AI generated. So you'll get somewhere like Skyrim has some, and you'll go to this person, and they'll just be like, "Help me, my sheep are under attack by bandits."
Yeah.
And they'll just swap those things out, and they just reoccur and reoccur. And,
Yeah.
Fallout 4, it was, "Help me, another settlement needs your help," and it just continually happens.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of
Could
those.
be one of those.
But hey, let us know what you're doing in your life and what category they slot into if you're listening to this still and you haven't zoned out. Extremely Casual group for Extremely Casual Gamers on Facebook. Otherwise, at Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast on Instagram. Check it out.
If you wonder why Chris's voice sort of went off mic there, is because he still has to look on the screen
That's right.
to see what our Instagram
Because
handle
Guy
is.
still has named all of our social pages something different on every platform.
It's been a year. Learn. Well, that wraps us up for another week of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast. Ellie will be back next week, and I'm very excited to hear what she's been getting up to in the United States of America. I know that she'll have been playing Trackmania. I wonder if she's been playing anything else. Did she take her Switch?
I don't know.
I mean, it'd be very silly for her not to. If you're going traveling and she recently bought a Switch and she was asking people about games and stuff, I feel like she should have been taking
No, she was asking us about it, getting advice and stuff, and then she just won't do it. It's like when she says she's going to play anything or watch anything.
Look at your
or
body
do
language
anything.
right now. I know this is a podcast, but like he's got his arms folded.
Yeah, I'm fuming.
Yeah, you know, I mean, your stomach made a noise before. Are you hungry?
No, I'm not hungry. I had a hot dog before I came here. A homemade
Nice.
one. It was delicious.
Very good.
No, I'm just,
You're just annoyed about Ellie's gaming habits.
I'm just grumpy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
What are you going to be playing this week?
I don't know. Nah, just joking. I'm going to finish Cyberpunk. God.
Are you?
I hope so.
Because
I've been trying.
you were just talking about how Ellie never finishes games, and you've been talking about Cyberpunk for like 2 months now.
Guy.
Just do what I do.
How dare you?
Just do what I do. Never finish.
Just do what you do. Never finish it and then just go into the comment section and say it's dead anyway. And that's why you never finished it.
It's dead in my gaming library.
I just want to finish it. Like
Yeah.
I'm at the point I'm so far through. I can't just stop. There's something in my brain that refuses to let me just stop.
I know now whenever I'm on PlayStation and I log on and you log on and I see you're playing Cyberpunk, I just know you're not enjoying it.
Like it's like it's fun.
slog.
Like it's fun.
Slogging it.
But you know how video games are like really fun?
Yeah.
This is just fun.
Yeah.
I walk into a room and I murder 30 people in like 30 seconds because I'm so hugely overpowered.
Would you give it the equivalent of like watching a TV series that you've seen a bunch of times?
No, because
But like you've seen it, so you're not 100% watching it, you're not 100% engaged in it, but you are still enjoying it, but it's not like an amazing TV show that you've never seen before and it's 100% gripping you. Like it's almost like a TV show that you watch while you eat.
I would say it's more like, because I love those, there's a reason I watch those TV shows again, because I love them.
Yeah, totally.
This is more like you decide you're going to watch all the Harry Potters, the movies, and you're watching the 5th one, which is shit.
Is that the Half-Blood Prince?
No, that
Order
one
of the
rules.
Phoenix.
Half-Blood Prince is the best one.
Yeah.
Order of the Phoenix.
I always get confused which one's a Half-Blood Prince. Like what happens in that one?
That's the one with Slughorn. Aragog.
That's right.
And there's that girl.
Felix is Felix, whatever it is.
Yeah,
and the love
exactly.
potion.
Yeah.
That is a good
It's
one.
hilarious. Yeah,
That's
that
a good one.
But whereas the 5th one's just a whole lot of garbage crammed in. It's the biggest book, right?
Yeah,
I'm enjoying all the movies, and then I get to that one, and I'm just watching it to connect the dots
totally.
because I have to watch it because it's part of the thing.
Yeah.
That's currently where I'm at with Cyberpunk.
Are you the same with movies as you are with games? Whereas if you're watching a movie and you're like 60% through and this is shit, but you need to get to the end because otherwise what's the point? Or
No.
do you bail?
I bail.
See, I get to the end.
See,
Unless it's really bad.
we
But
don't
I'm like-
commit to a movie. Like, we don't commit to movies ever. We'll commit to a movie once every 2 months,
Oh, yeah.
3 months.
Because I'm like, if we're through it this far, if we bail now, then the movie wins. You know? Then it's just wasted time because I don't know how it ends. But
Right.
if I know how it ends, I can say to someone, don't watch that movie because even the last 10 minutes are shit.
Yeah, right.
But like with video games, if I don't like the game, I'm like, no, I'm out.
Yeah, but the difference is you'll get sent a free copy of it
I don't get sent free copies of movies.
that we could we could give away on the podcast to someone who would love it. You played 10 minutes and they go, nah, now it's not playable for anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it a code?
Which one?
The Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Oh, see, you can't even give it away. It's
Can't
not
even give
a
it away.
disc.
Yeah, it is completely wasted code. Speaking of, got sent a code for the new Astrobot game, which comes out this week. Very excited. Downloaded it, and I'll give it a review next week. Astrobot, me and Ellie went and go.
That's right.
We played a demo of it for an hour a couple months back or a month or so ago with PlayStation. I've got the full game. Very excited to play it, and I will be completing that game, so I'll do that this week. Well, not
Little
complete
bonus
it.
episode.
Little bonus EP.
Yep.
And I'll play as much of it as I can, and I'll give you a review for that next week. And also, I'm deep into my farming sim.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got sunflowers that are ready to be harvested again. I've bought a sorghum field, harvested that. Still got my chickens. They're making money. I've got lots of beehives now. So I'm just selling honey.
That is good.
Yeah, like an escort. Selling that honey.
Guy, you have to stop making escort jokes on our gaming podcast.
It's a completely legal profession.
No, I don't.
Don't be a prude.
Don't.
You prude.
All right, let's
there
wrap this up.
there could be escorts listening.
Hopefully.
If there's anyone here who's listening that sells their body for sex.
Well, doesn't your mum listen?
How dare you!
Wrap it up. I told you to wrap it up. Let's finish this.
All right,
thing.
we're out.
Where's Ellie when you need her?
Yeah, I know. All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye. Don't even. Yeah, bye.